Hey, this is Mo Lunsford at Union Grove Lumber Studios.
And this is the Shed Geek. We want to welcome you to today's episode. Okay, welcome back to another episode of the Shed Geek podcast. And we're still here in Texas making our rounds, and it's lots of fun. And we made it over here to, you have to correct me, I say Corsicana, but it's Corsicana. Corsicana. I've been told. I always get the name of the towns wrong. But we're here with a mother-daughter team, and this is really fun. They're gonna school us all about the shed industry, right? So if you guys want to just introduce yourself and maybe a little bit about who you are, what you do, how you got started.
Okay, I'm Lauren Galia, and I started out training dogs and doing grooming, and opened a business in 2005 in Corsicana, serving this area with training, grooming, boarding, teaching all types of behavior work, including service dogs and agility. I've branched into herding over the last 10 years, and in the last 6 years, that's become my primary focus. We still do boarding and grooming a lot and behavior work. As a side effect of buying this raw land, we talked together. Tamara moved up from San Antonio and joined our household and came to work for me while we built and established Angus Portable Buildings, and she is the main force of our sales and our web marketing, and she runs with it. She carries the ball, and she's the success story. So
That's awesome.
There we are.
That's great. So San Antonio.
Yeah.
It's beautiful down there, right?
It is. I actually moved there to go to school for architecture.
Okay.
So that kind of ties into why I'm kind of a shed geek too.
Okay.
Because, I love everything about building and design and details regarding that stuff. And certainly when, like she said, when we decided to kind of join forces here with this property, it was really important that she establish her business on the property and really just do it for her. And it made sense to combine it with the buildings because it kind of goes hand in hand. There have been a lot of buildings that we have worked on that are specifically animal related, whether it be housing for chickens, housing for dogs, housing for horses, obviously. And we've found, especially in the rural community,
We have a niche.
we have a little bit of a niche there. I literally muck stalls every day, and I understand how the inner workings are with the animals. Same with the dog industry and handling and working dogs.
What is needed when somebody designs a building to support their animals?
Right.
We know what to make sure that they get or don't get.
Right.
In
How to
terms
make
of
that building work for
design.
their
Okay.
needs.
Yeah.
Sure. And coupled with that, my interest in architecture and even residential design, certainly the other aspects of the shed world, the she sheds, the craft rooms, the man caves, the garages and
The tiny
workshops,
homes.
the tiny homes, all plays into my interests big time, for sure.
It's turned into so much more than just storage.
Absolutely.
A lot of people are, see a
Absolutely.
shed or something like this and kind of think storage, place to throw my
Right.
Christmas tree. Well, that's true. Place to put my lawnmower. That's true. But it's turned into,
So much more.
folks.
Business offices.
Yeah, often, exactly.
Right.
Especially during COVID.
Absolutely.
That was a big thing. Well, we're in a beautiful Derksen building here, so this is really cool. You guys can see the studded wall back here with the spray foam. What a great product. Always proud to be able to talk to Derksen dealers because they just make a great product, and the whole team over there really, they have a phenomenal building and such a big presence in the industry. Their home office is not too far away from where we live, so it's kind of convenient. I've been down to Mayfield quite often, and so it's some really good people over there. I do know. So kudos to them and all that they do. And it sounds like they've got some really awesome people here working for them and across the country. So
yeah,
there's
11 build shops in Texas. So for Derksen, so that really helps us as a dealer. Definitely service our local community quickly and efficiently, but then also branch out a little bit.
Yeah.
There's times where we do a lot of referral and customers that come back to us. And so somebody might buy from us here in Corsicana, but then refer their grandmother or their sister that lives in Tyler, and
Sure.
I can still service her.
That's
you know
great.
what I mean?
That's great. Yeah, top-notch product and really top-notch company and well thought in the industry. And I just think it's awesome and love what you guys have done here. So we're in Corsicana. I'm going to get it right one of these days. But even beyond that, we're inside the incorporated city. Is it incorporated city of Angus? Mm-hmm. Now, we're in Texas, and you hear the name Angus, and you think to yourself, like, where is this, like the center of some kind of hub from like Angus bulls or like Angus cows?
Well,
like, where's
actually the Corsicana livestock auction is right around the corner.
Okay.
And they run cattle through there all the time.
On Tuesdays, we can hear the lot.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Yes. Corsicana grew from oil discovery in the 50s. And so it's been built around the ranch land, oil land, farmers. The mayor, who used to be years ago mayor of Corsicana, has a ranch right down the road. Angus, I'm sure they named it Angus. I don't know why they named it Angus, but I'm going to guess it was about cattle.
Yeah, it just seems like it makes sense. So it's
Yeah.
really, I don't know.
Across the street is Mustang.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
That's awesome. I love that. So, I mean, that made a simple approach for the name
Yes.
here for you
Yes,
guys.
it did.
So, oh, that's good. Today, we have something truly groundbreaking to discuss. The Zula from Mobino Solar Solutions. This incredible shed ventilation system is set to redefine how we approach air circulation and energy efficiency. A shed ventilation marvel. With 3 robust fans generating 630 CFM, 2 fans usher in a breath of fresh air, while 1 strategically expels stillness. What's groundbreaking? It's solar powered. Harnessing the sun's energy, the Zula is a sustainable dream eliminating electricity costs. Sleek, powerful, and eco-friendly, this system is a game changer for those seeking efficient air circulation without compromising on green values. Visit Mobino's site for more of this innovative solar shed ventilation solution and use the Shed Geek 10 for an extra 10% discount. Just visit www.mobinosolarsolutions.com. So how long have you guys been selling sheds? Has this been a new adventure?
Well,
or?
really since 2016, but we bought this property in 2017.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's about when I joined up. She, like I said, she has kind of started with some carports and some sheds at her previous location. And then when we moved here in 2017 is when we first got lots or buildings on
Right.
the lot here.
So we could grow.
We
Yeah.
grew, and it really took off. We serviced a need, and we certainly have other dealers in the area, but I don't know. I come from a customer service background, and I'm not necessarily a background in sales. I've definitely taught myself, and she has helped me learn over the years some traditional sales techniques, but I think one of the reasons we have really excelled too is just our follow through with
customer
customers.
service.
We're
Yeah.
here. We care about it. We care about being open and answering the phones. And when they've got the questions, if we don't know them, we're going to find out the answer.
When they have a problem,
Yeah.
we don't run away.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And there's always a problem. I mean,
Yeah,
not always a problem, but you know,
creep
they
up.
happen.
Yeah.
They happen. And when they do, we don't run and hide. We help them through it.
Because it's a learning experience for us too, and it helps us the next time. I'm all the time like, okay, all right, I just learned something new. Let me write that one down because that's going to come up again in 2 years or whatever it may be.
Yeah, it's so unique. Almost even the customers. It's not always the same customers from one to the next. And you really have to, where you can set yourself apart is that customer service.
You have to be a good listener.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think sales is so much about finding out the needs of what they have. And what's beautiful is you guys have you're in Texas, so the animal shelters, and then the added value of like the expertise you bring in the area of dogs and canines and things like that. That just feels like that's got to be a really nice niche that you guys can tap into.
The housing of livestock, right now we've got about 35 sheep, and we've been having lambs born all this winter through the worst weather, and thank goodness for shelter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's it been like since 2016? 6 years or so. So you would have started before COVID.
Yeah.
Then you got to experience all the craziness of COVID.
You know, COVID, we kind of rode through COVID pretty easily because at the beginning of it, I signed on with DocuSign before Derksen and all the other shed dealers had jumped on the DocuSign dashboard. But I had signed up for them so that we could do deals over the phone, and people wouldn't have to come in. We did invest in, at the time, in our old office, shields and little signs for the floor of, distance. But people didn't want to come in, and actually it was just high risk. So we promoted just sign. We can send it to you, and you can sign it and never have to leave your house. And I think that got us through COVID in a way that made Derksen and other shed dealers jump on the DocuSign.
It just totally made sense.
It
It does,
Yeah.
especially
Right.
in that environment.
Sure.
Technology's just played such a big role, and it's seemingly going that way more and more.
Right.
You spoke on your desire to be in, the architect world, so you like the construction and the building side and being able to explain that, but you probably maybe didn't even expect, wait a minute, now I'm getting drug into this world, in the sales world, of like all these different details, how Google performs and runs ads, and how Facebook performs and runs ads, and trying to understand the nuance of it can be cumbersome at times.
Absolutely. And I would couple with what she said, especially with the COVID thing, is
It grew the online.
it grew the online. Along with studying architecture, before that I was always an artist. I've always been heavily into art and
She
that sort of
designed
thing.
the logo.
So
That's her
Oh,
design.
nice.
I did the logo.
Awesome.
I do a lot of digital stuff. I built the website and rebuilt it 4 or 5 times over. You know how that goes. And during COVID, I realized, we need to start relying on the online things. So I got all of our buildings up on our website, and I've continued that. I cannot tell you how many people call us and say, I'm on your website, I'm looking at this building. If I get it today, when can you deliver? And it's a done deal.
Through COVID, people got in the habit of not
in the
going
habit
out
of
shopping.
it. Sure.
They,
Now we're
They
welcome.
want to pick up the phone or hit the computer.
Yeah. Now we love to see them come here. I think there's a huge value in them coming
course.
in person, and you can't mistake that. But certainly in this day and age, in this environment, and after COVID, getting through it, being up to date on online logistics is a must.
Where do you start that search as a dealer? I've said for many years it can be an emotional plague on you as a dealer if you let it be.
Yeah.
At iFab LLC, our passion is welding, fabricating, and design. That's why in 2015, we began to commercially market our product to the shed, portable building, and mini barn industry. Our product is primarily used to build trusses. Our truss saw system cuts boards in one motion, and our truss press system installs and presses the gusset plates to a finished truss. We custom fabricate jigs that assure perfectly symmetrical truss setup without error. We also have other products designed to help your shed builder increase quality, efficiency, and save money. Our precision door tape will build your custom doors square every time and easily adjust to build any door. For products like these or other custom fabrication services for your barn shop, visit ifabllc.com or call 563-422-7496 or simply email us at ifabllc@gmail.com. You know, you're on a bit of an island when you're here every day, all day by yourself. Yeah. It's easy to get discouraged. It's easy if the foot traffic's not coming in. It's easy if the online traffic's not coming in. And then we begin to self-diagnose and say, what am I doing wrong? I'm doing all these things wrong. Oh no, everybody else is probably doing well and I'm just not doing good at all. And mentally it begins to like break you down emotionally in sales. Sure. So we try to combat that with, you know, celebrating your effort over and over and over, and not so much your victories and your failures. You just keep putting in the same effort. But where do you go? Do you read books? Do you read industry magazines? Listen to the podcast? Do you talk to friends? Talk to other dealer networks? What's your approach?
She does listen to podcasts a lot, and she reads, but she spends a good part of the evening working on the website. I can tell you when she has a bad day, sales-wise, and she gets what you're describing, dejected, she has an advantage a lot of people probably don't have. She can walk out of here, drive the ATV back to the house, hug a dog, kiss her dogs, go stroke the horse, go pet the horse, go bring somebody some hay, get away from it for a second. She can come talk to her mother and tell her mother how she's feeling. And I usually remind her what a great job she does all the time.
That's
and I
great.
say, just keep doing it.
She's a great support system.
Yeah.
For sure.
So she has those days, but if you don't have the ability to walk out of the office and walk away from it for a minute and clear your head and clear your heart and soul, touch something that matters, you can't come back with yourself and your same attitude that you had on a good day. So
we need to give you a microphone all the time. You are like the best supporter here. She's just like just full of positivity, right?
She is. Honestly, she is. And she's absolutely right about being able to walk away from it and kind of reground yourself, because exactly what you're saying certainly happens over and over. You can get really bogged down with the online stuff and seeing what everyone else is doing, and they must be selling 1 million buildings and I'm not, or whatever it is. And now we have another competitor, and now there's another one. What I've come to realize a little bit over the years, and she's really good at reminding me this, is that other lots pop up, and that's natural. It's going to happen. Really nothing I can do about that, and competition is good because it actually has made me look back at, okay, well, what kind of marketing am I focusing on? Do I need to refocus that? And certainly analyzing the search engine analytics and doing research and stuff like that is always helpful to me. But also just stepping away and kind of looking at some art and feeling inspired in that way to do some creative marketing in a different perspective.
She does amazing ads.
They're fun.
Her Facebook
I try to
ads
be
are
fun
amazing.
about it.
I feel like we have more in common than you know. I love to draw, and I
Yeah.
haven't drawn in years. But
It's hard to
once-
find the time.
Well, that's you have to make the time if it's a priority, and I don't, and I haven't in years. So I'm not good at drawing from imagination, but I love to draw from portrait or something like that. So if I see it, I can draw it. But if I have to imagine it, I don't have that. Whatever
I can
that
relate
is
to
that's
that,
missing.
sure.
But I'll show you some pictures here later. Don't let me forget. Before we get out of here, I'll show you some of stuff we've done. And I feel like what that is creativity in a lot of ways. And when you can tap into creativity, and that's what art is in a lot of ways, it's blazing a trail. It's creating a road where there's no road. It's trying to create something as opposed to just always
Out of nothing, really.
yes. So I'm always challenging myself to try to do that more, because I feel like in business that's very important too. Most people in business want measurability, metrics, all of these things. So we have these things, right? Even in the technology fields we talked about, like how do we measure SEO? How do we measure these analytics and different things? And those are very important things. But what do we do beyond that? That's creative and
Sure.
that's not been done before.
Right.
That's unmeasurable, and you go out and you try to create those experiences with your customers and with your community. I think, and you guys talked about sort of doing something
Right.
similar to that on your Christmas tree project. Tell me about that a little bit. What was the idea, and how'd that go down?
It started one night 2 years ago around Christmas, and everything is so expensive right now and has been. And, she was
I was at Home Depot getting something.
Okay, but she was a single parent growing up and
Okay.
raised me primarily by herself.
She did great.
Yes, she did. But she understands what it's like when Christmas time and, you're trying to provide for your kids, whether you're a single parent or
Oh,
not, because two family incomes is just as hard too, especially
It's
today.
like, do I buy groceries or do I buy a Christmas tree?
present.
Right.
Right. So she had this, she was like, I just don't want someone that needs to celebrate Christmas with their family to go without. And so we started talking it through, and she's like, the Christmas trees at Home Depot are so expensive. We had a good year. We wanted to give back. So we created...
They were expensive everywhere.
They were expensive.
Yeah, that's true.
That's right. They were expensive everywhere. But we wanted to give back. And so we created a contest of sorts. What was kind of unique and cool about it is that we asked our followers and people in the community to nominate somebody that they know that could use extra help this Christmas. And the person that would win the drawing would get a Christmas tree, a pre-lit Christmas tree with decorations, a gift card to the grocery store and a gift card to Walmart so they could put food on the table and buy some gifts for the family. And the first year was a huge success. We were totally amazed. I set up a page on the website where they could drop in their nomination. And the funnest part about it was calling the winners.
Right.
And letting them
And
know
meeting them.
that somebody that cared about them actually nominated them. It wasn't just them nominating them. Oh, I want to sign up to win a prize.
Right.
Yeah, you see it all the time where
Yeah.
people will be like, click on this and you'll be entered in a drawing.
Right.
We didn't want that. We wanted something substantial where I know you and I know you need help and I know you're not going to ask for it. I'm going to submit this for you. And the first year, the winner was submitted by a real estate agent who had sold her house.
Oh,
so
that's awesome.
she knew that she was struggling and that she had just gotten this house. And she couldn't afford a Christmas tree. She had just bought a house.
Right.
And she had children.
Yes. Yeah.
And so this helped her children have a little bit better Christmas. Not that they wouldn't have had it anyways, because their mom just bought them a house, right? But, it's just a feel-good thing. It really feels good to help the community and the people in it. So the second year, we decided to double that and have a winner and reserve winner. That went very well, and we knew we'd get enough submissions, which we did. And the thing is, we had to limit it because there were so many submissions. They needed to live in this county, in Navarro County. We had to narrow it down somehow. And they had to have a working phone number. But, yeah.
Other than that, it was pretty awesome. I mean, the coolest part to me is, when we get to meet them in person and you can see like their surprise and their joy of like, I can't believe my friend nominated me,
right.
And some tears were shed, and
the person who nominated got a gift card, and so of course, they feel good about it.
Although it's not necessarily about sheds, we didn't give away a shed, but it's just really about giving back and
That's right.
and trying to share blessings, because we have been blessed by the community. We've met some incredible people here. A lot of returning customers that then tell their friends and family about us, and so it's just another way to
say thank you.
Say thank you.
Well, and it says good on Derksen. It says good on the shed community as a whole. Yeah. And I think that the more people who do that, it kind of it provides for a good experience when we all come together to collectively do things like that. As an industry, we're seen in a positive light, seen in a positive manner. And that's, if you're working in any industry, if I were selling TVs or cars or ATVs or whatever it is, I would want that same feeling. I would want people to have a positive experience. And we really are affecting a lot of people, because it's, you know what you're getting when you come by an ATV, but when, as discussed here, you don't know what they're getting when they come by a shed. It may be for their lawnmower. Right. It may be a she shed, a man cave. It could be, someone converting and going through the housing process to turn it into a tiny home.
Right.
There's just so many different things. It makes every customer unique. Have you ever had a customer ask you about how to supply power to their shed? Do you sell electrical kits as an upsell for your sheds currently? Do you want an easy, no-hassle option to offer for your customers when they want to add electric to their sheds? Check out EcoEthics Solar. EcoEthics Solar is looking for shed manufacturers and shed dealers who want to be able to provide a solar electric option to their line of sheds. With EcoEthics Solar, you can purchase the SunSaver, a solar product specifically designed with the shed owner in mind. Want to offer a larger product that can operate a full tiny home? At EcoEthics Solar, they have the necessary product, training, and capacity to meet your customers' needs. Installation for the SunSaver is simple and takes just 45 minutes. You can even install it right there in your sales lot or at the manufacturing facility. EcoEthics Solar even provides hands-on in-person training if necessary. Plus, they will provide you with video tutorials and handouts with specific installation instructions that keeps adding a solar-powered electrical system to your shed fast and simple. In many cases, the end user can even perform the installation once the shed is delivered to their home. If you are interested in purchasing a unit for display and then drop shipping your orders, or even ordering multiple units to have available as you build, contact my friends at EcoEthics Solar at 336-250-1284 or email sales@ecoethicsolar.com. But this ended up with the local newspaper, doing an article on it.
On the front page.
Yeah, awesome.
The Christmas Eve front page.
That's great. So yeah, I think it's awesome. And you said something earlier that is right. You said if you just give it away to everybody, it changes the dynamic when you have someone nominate. I wish I would have thought of that years ago. We did a grand opening once at a shed lot where we gave away a grill. And I remember specifically putting this grill on Facebook and saying, free, it's free. You just have to come by, register, give us a chance to meet you. We're not trying to sell you a shed. We are trying to sell you a shed, but we really just want you to see our character, because maybe if you see our character, you'll think of us as a potential go-to when you do need a shed.
Too.
Right. Yeah. So, and we ended up getting messages like, I will take one of the free grills, please. Yeah. And my favorite message of all was, I would like one of the free grills, but I can't come get it. Can you please bring it to me? So
Well, you cooked my dinner on it while you're at it.
It's the literal path of least resistance when it comes to some of that. But you guys thought of a really creative way
Right.
to do that and give back, and I think that's awesome. Are you going to do that for a year 3? Have you decided yet?
You know, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
How much we can give at the end of the year depends on how the year is gone. I mean, I can't take out a loan to do it, but we try to give as much as we can.
Let's do something cool. Let's at least try this. If anybody would like to, I'll do this. I'll donate a tree. How about that? And then for anybody who's listening, if you guys want to donate a tree, just contact me. We'll get you in touch with Tamara.
Oh my gosh.
And who knows? Maybe we can give away 5 or 10 trees or something.
We
this year.
literally had no idea he was going to say that.
No, well, I didn't either. But I do. I definitely want to donate one because I think that's awesome. I think
you
it'd be
so
really cool if the
much.
shed
Or
industry
even if
just
they
says,
donate-
hey, that's cool what they're doing.
They
I
want
love
to
that.
donate a gift card,
Yeah.
$25 or $50 gift
Yeah,
card.
absolutely. We'll get you in touch if somebody
so sweet.
contacts us.
Thank you.
Not saying anybody will, but you at least got one, right?
Yeah,
So
right.
we'll.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
Yeah.
you. That's
I think what you're doing is awesome, and I think that's part of what we should be doing in our jobs and ministry. You know, I'm not. I guess we're all ministers, maybe in some respect, but you know, it's just the right thing to do to give back.
Doing the right thing feels good.
It
Yes.
does. It
Yeah.
does. It does. So
And it
yeah.
comes back to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, they say you
Good
can't.
karma.
Yeah, that's right. They
Right.
say you can't outgive God, and I believe that we've experienced much of that in our life. So we're thankful, and we kind of talked about that before.
Right.
We even came on air about cancer and the different
Sure.
things and stuff like that. And you just always have to. Life's bearing down all the time, isn't it? And you're just trying to fight back with a positive mindset, and your positivity just comes through. So trust me, it does. It does. So, so beyond that, where's it going now for you guys? You know, satisfied with where you are now? Do you want to sell every shed in Texas?
Yes.
Okay, I'll try to send them your way. How about that?
You know, one thing I'm really excited about is Derksen just came out with a chicken coop.
Okay.
And for several years, you know, having backyard chickens became really popular during COVID. We got some ourselves, and there's another little step of like, hey, I take care of the chickens every day. I know what you need in the building for your chickens. But Derksen has an actual chicken coop now, 2
Awesome.
sizes,
Right
one with a
outside.
connected run. They've got the awesome LuxGuard rubber flooring.
Oh yeah, I
in
definitely
it,
know the folks at
which-
LuxGuard. Great product.
If you know how well that cleans up and the combination of that and chickens, you are set. So I'm really excited about that because I was thinking, well, Derksen doesn't have a chicken coop. Maybe we've got to find a supplier for something like that because they're in demand. There's people out there that are needing them.
And then they
wanting
popped
them.
in with one.
And then they popped in with one.
They're like, well, we have one now.
You know, yes.
It's nice.
Where do we go next? I mean, we do a lot of sales with the metal buildings as well, and we also sell the portable decks for mobile homes or actually just any home. Those are big sellers for us as well. But I think
every manufactured home needs a deck.
a deck.
Like this.
They also work excellent with our shed to home options because it's really convenient how we have it here on our office because it helps me show a customer that is wrestling between do I want a cabin with a built-in porch or do I want a utility building and add on my own deck later. And I'm like, well, we can go either way. You have to decide what's more important to you. How much deck space do you want, maybe? How much building space? And then here's an example of how we can make that work for you. Because there's definitely been a lot of shed to home buildings we've sold that then they come back and get the deck from us later.
Yeah, absolutely. It's seeing some of the other products pop up around the shed space is
Right.
kind of interesting.
Yes.
Like you
yes.
said, the portable decks. I mean, even the chicken coops. I don't know. Maybe 4 or 5 years ago, it seemed like I saw where they were starting to come out. I know they've been around much longer. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
It's just it seemed like it was really coming onto the scene big time, And I don't know why. We've discussed this before. I wonder if it's just sort of the do it yourself more mentality.
so.
People want to,
Yeah.
just kind of have a little bit more. I don't know. It saves a few bucks, right? Over time you
Yes.
raise your own chickens, and
They're kind of fun, honestly. They're actually kind of fun to have around. They're mini dinosaurs, as I like to call them, and anyone that has one would agree with me. There's really no comparison between fresh laid eggs and the grocery store eggs. There is a difference. They're fun, and then you've got to have the protection for them because of the predators, and they're vulnerable, and
they make a mess.
they make a mess.
well, that's why Lux Guard flooring.
Yeah, it is perfect.
And if you're a manufacturer not using it, I don't know that you can get any more true endorsement than that right there.
I know it. Yes.
Yeah.
We love what we do. She kind of explained earlier that when I get off of work, yes, I do my farm chores and that kind of thing, but then my mind circles back to what's going on in the building world. And maybe it's I'm looking at your Facebook page, or I'm reading the Shed Builder magazine while I eat dinner, and I'm just constantly really engrossed in the industry. I think there's so much to learn that translates how you help your customer have a better experience. That's my personal goal.
Yeah.
Is obviously for our business to succeed, but how that translates for the customer. And I think that's what we've been focusing on.
It's really surprising how it kind of grabs you because, I said Shed Geek because we geek out on sheds, but it's a little bit of a geeky thing in general just to like something like sheds so much, but it's a little bit of the industry's character that draws you in.
Yes, yeah.
I think, at least it was for me. I was like, man, this is like no industry I've ever been in.
Yeah.
A lot of the support systems are amazing. Of course, you get all of the garbage like you do with any industry. It happens, and it probably always will as much as you try to not be involved or solve it or whatever.
Right.
But generally speaking, there's always such kind-hearted people, like stories like what you've done with the Christmas trees. There's always there seems to be a genuine desire to want to help the customer, to want to learn more about it. And I think that's much of the reason for our growth and just maturing of the industry. And you don't really recognize the moment when you're in it. You recognize it when you look back over it a couple of years. And the last few years has just been really amazing. I've met some really cool people that share stories kind of like what you guys are doing.
Oh, and like what you're doing, coming around and finding us and talking to us. Yes.
It's fun. It's benefited me. We travel together as a family. Deanna's with me, my wife. Troy's with me, my son. My daughter's preparing for our first granddaughter.
Congratulations.
We're going to be grandparents next month, and we're excited.
Yay.
First time, first grandchild. So we're really excited. So we're going to try to take a few weeks away. Podcast will still go out, and that's why we try to get them ahead of time. But we want to spend a little bit of time with her.
Yeah, definitely.
So but it really is a pleasure getting to meet so many new people. Do you have a favorite experience over the last 6 years outside of the Christmas trees? A favorite experience with a customer that comes to mind?
Yes. I mean, there's been a lot of customers that have been able to really help them realize their dream and, how that building is going to work for them. One specific actually is, I kind of mentioned I delve into art and I'm an artist. And so although I have the experience with the animals and whatnot, I also have big dreams of art studios, right? And what these buildings can do for artists and your productivity as an artist. So I had a gal that, a customer that came almost about 2.5 hours away to visit with us about an art studio building. And of course, she ended up purchasing her building with us, and we ended up doing an on-site build. There was quite a few design changes. I still keep in touch with her today. She's kind of become a really nice little art friend of mine.
That's awesome.
Swap little, did you see this picture, this painting? Watching her experience of purchasing her building was fun because we could sit there and talk about what kind of easel she was going to be using and what kind of lighting she was interested in, and that was just stuff that really got me going. I was like, yes, I can talk about this.
The end user experience.
End user experience.
It's I've heard sales is a transfer of enthusiasm.
Sure.
And whenever you're enthusiastic about what they're going to be, I mean, it just comes across natural. It doesn't come across as salesy.
Correct.
Because you're genuinely interested in how to help and how if you can tap into that, even if it's not a passionate situation, if it's just, some folks, I just need storage. It's very matter of fact. It's very simple. There's not a whole lot of thought, but yoga studios, music studios, workout rooms, horse barns,
and designs of the stalls.
Especially here, I feel like in Texas, like your livestock has got to be just you've got to know your stuff,
right?
And if you can show them the value, then you're making a connection beyond just a sale today.
Right. No, you're totally right. I mean, the enthusiasm transfers, and not even if it's something you're emotionally or personally connected with, even if it is just storage. There was a gal that I remember her and her husband were moving from out of state.
There's no such thing as just storage.
Just storage, right. But she was trying to house or store valuables from her dad that passed away. And she needed to make sure it was a climate-controlled building, so we did the spray foam, ran electrical in it, because she needed time to be able to really sort things through and emotionally be able to process what she was having to sort through. But she needed a safe place to put it in the time being. And that was a really emotional thing to help her with. And then honestly, it was very odd because in like 2-3 months later, my own father passed, and I ended up having to bring a whole bunch of his stuff home from California that is sitting in my personal shed. So sometimes it's literally just about storing things, but it's important stuff that you need to keep safe.
What a great example. I don't think that people realize that's more common than not. I've told the story on here a couple of times of a lady who came in and they had lost their son, and she was just lost. I mean, she was just beside herself, and I realized the goal that day wasn't to sell her a shed.
Right.
It's just to listen to her and let her talk, and we prayed with her and just listened to her, and she didn't really have shed specific questions. She just needed an ear that day.
Right.
And we didn't try to sell her anything. I don't know if we ever sold her anything in the future, but I do know that day was special to just be able to talk, because the emotional decision of having to get a storage unit to put his stuff in was a very difficult
Sometimes
thing
it's just
for them.
literally a human connection. Like you said, whether a building's sold or not, whether the contest is about giving away a shed or not, it's literally just about the human connection.
It really is. And when you do a good deed, it has an opportunity to have a ripple effect on other people.
Sure.
What things would you want to see different? What would you want to see changed? What are anything out there that you would like to see come about? Larger buildings, I don't know, different designs. Is there anything that just...
Different designs, different colors. I like a big color palette.
She likes some bold colors, too.
Okay, okay.
I would never say no to bigger buildings being available. I think that the market is out there looking for them.
She loves to design tiny houses.
Yeah. I think that we've all become to rely very heavily on idea room software, and that has been a big game changer for translating the ideas to the customer and been very helpful. I think
great company.
It would be, and I think they have a lot on their plate to keep up with us all.
Sure.
I would love to see just more what can they do next?
More options.
What can they do next to help us visually convey to the customer? They already do a lot, but you never know.
There
What
was
can
a
they do
customer
next?
that wanted windows everywhere around the building, and it couldn't be done.
Yeah.
For transportation, it was the wall needed to be
Supported,
framed more.
yeah. Right.
So,
Maybe just some more technological changes there.
yeah.
I feel like it's coming. I feel like it's only going to be
right.
more and more of that stuff. Gosh, what a just lovely afternoon sitting talking. I appreciate the opportunity to do that. I'm going to do something that I do here lately. I've done this on the last several shows. You may have no questions whatsoever, but I always say, hey, I put you in the hot seat long enough. I've asked you questions. Feel free to turn the microphone around, ask questions that you have. If it's shed related, if it's faith, family, podcast, it really doesn't matter. Complete transparency, nothing's off of the table. Do you have any questions that I can answer for you guys? So I do that without warning you, so that if you don't have any, that's fine. But if you come up with any,
I think you're a great guy. I don't have any questions.
You should tell my wife. She needs to know this. I'll make sure she hears that part.
Every great guy has a great woman.
There you go.
behind him.
That's right. An even greater woman, I would say.
Yes.
Yeah, she is awesome. She is awesome.
Shoot, I don't know. I feel like you probably know all kinds of really interesting stuff about the shed world, but I certainly can't think of a question right now.
It's been a journey. It's been unique, getting to meet so many different people from so many different walks, and I don't know. I think it kind of fits my personality because I'm always inquisitive.
Right.
I love seeing the different places and the way they do things, and I'm a geek outside of sheds. I will go to a town. You guys don't know this yet. I haven't done it yet. It's only because I haven't had time. But I will go look up why the town's named Angus. I will look up the the origin story of Corsicana. And
Yeah, we call her Miss Google.
You will find some interesting things if you Google Corsicana.
Okay.
There's actually even an Amazon Prime documentary that includes Corsicana.
No way.
And then
Now I'm way
Netflix
interested.
had the I don't know if the cheerleaders, the Navarro County cheerleaders.
Yeah.
They had a whole Netflix show.
Wow.
When I first moved here, I thought, why are these cheerleaders so big in this town? They were filming them the whole first 6 months that I was here. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's some name recognition.
There's been
around
movies
here.
made here.
Movies
Okay.
made here. Collins Street Bakery is very popular, so you're supposed to stop in there and get yourself a little dessert.
Okay.
Lots of interesting things about Corsicana.
I will look it up because I don't know. I love to see median income. How did this place start? Why is it like that? Why did we develop the way that we develop? I'm a bit of a historian
Well, you should
historian
come
in
down
general.
here for Derrick Days. That's in May, at the end of April,
Celebration
beginning
of
of
the oil.
May, of the oil derricks.
Okay. That would be pretty cool. Yeah. I don't know. I love stuff like that. We have near where Mayfield is, the home office for Derksen, near there over in Benton, there's a tater day. So we have all of those strange things too. So
Very cool.
See, Kentucky, I think bluegrass and Kentucky horse park.
Yeah.
absolutely.
And
Yeah.
Of course, the Kentucky Derby. So
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I appreciate you guys so much sitting down with me today. I think you sell a wonderful product. You have a great attitude. You have a very cool story. And I hope it just benefited somebody's day from sitting down and listening.
We do as well. Thank you for coming.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Hey, this is Mo Lunsford in sunny Union Grove, North Carolina, and we want to say thank you to all the guests and listeners.